Hi, welcome back. Beautiful day today, another beautiful day. Another beautiful day for things that are manifesting that wasn't there yesterday. Another beautiful day to see what's going to happen in the next moment from now and even tomorrow. Lots of contrast can happen sometimes. Sometimes you have days where, they can suck. You say, it's kind of, today sucks. And what do we do with those days we have lots of contrast? Well, you laugh at things. A better way to stay in a high vibration than to not go down into a reactionary mode of, oh shit. Of course, that does happen from time to time, and that's fine. You just don't stay there too long with the negative thinking. But see, when things happen, they're always there serving us, and whatever happens for a reason. It doesn't mean that it's there to test you or you did something wrong, or the universe is over there and you're doing something wrong again, and you better do something right. Really, what's being said is that stay as much as you can into a fine vibration, and how you do that? Well, you feel good most of the time. And some of you might have some issues with depression, or going down those long trains of I'm not okay. And it's fine. The disclaimer here is that you take medication, antidepressants perhaps, that assist with all that. And we never tell anybody not to take medications, but continue on with what you're doing. But when you start speaking to yourself in a positive way, and you don't let yourself slip down a slippery slope of negative thinking, you'll see that things start manifesting for you, whatever it is that you desire for yourself. Even if it is a state of well-being, you want your mind okay. So then we work with the mind. We start and we take the days out and we fine tune. We take rests, long naps to stay rested. You don't create during those times and try to be a superstar with your thinking, because those aren't the times to do anything. Again, the times to create is when you're feeling good. So what do we do in these days when things are full of contrast? I had one today, and today's Monday, right? First thing, the phone didn't start, and I use my phone for most things that I do. I have my calendar on there like most people do. Of course, I have it synced with my laptop and all. That's fine. But still, I had to find myself going to the store, Verizon store, and seeing what they could do, and finds out that all she did was just hold down a couple of buttons and wait long enough, and then, a little this and a little that, and she got it working. So I'm in my mind going, oh, they're gonna definitely have to replace this phone. And of course, I didn't stay too long with the thoughts. I just heard the thoughts because I was in my mind, and this is what we tend to do, okay? So then that meeting was fine. It only lasted like 10 minutes, not even. And that meeting was there really to tell her that to have a beautiful day. And it lit up her whole face. So you never know why these meetings happen. You could say, oh, it's as simple as maybe it was there to raise a smile on a person's face. Okay? So before I got to the store, I went the other way because I didn't have my GPS. I used my phone for the GPS. Then I'm like, maybe I should stop and get a paper map. And even when I stopped to get a paper map, the store didn't carry it. So that's okay. Onward I go. What was my agenda in getting the paper map? Oh no, I was freaking out. Like the store would be mentioned on the map. Perhaps this map wasn't set up that way, but a topographic map usually has, the topographic or the cities, the town, all that, but not necessarily like stores. Okay. So we fumble around with our GPS, and most of us use our phones or other devices, even if you have a GPS unit in your car. I don't. I just don't happen to have that quite yet, right? I have to use my phone for everything. So I'm just using an example, full of contrast. Wherever I went, it seemed like I had to go to one thing to another. And I'm like, oh, well, I might as well stop for some eggs. And so I went along the way and got some eggs. I would have had to take a separate trip, and that way I didn't have to. So that worked out. And so I meandered along, and another wonderful thing happened. And I stopped and checked that thing out, and I was moving on from one thing to another. And then I found myself just kind of setting myself up for running races next month, and so now I'm in training myself to prepare for a 5K, which is the first time I've done that in 30 years, okay? So basically, I started out and this whole day was full of contrast from the moment I opened up my eyes. And before, again, you know what we've been saying in these messages is that before you even get out of bed, today is a good day. It's a good day, of course, every day is a good day, even though it doesn't seem to be that way. Before I got out of bed, I'm like, I felt into it, and I'm like, it doesn't seem like to be that day. But even though before I got out of bed, today is a good day. And even though I'm like, wait a second, this didn't seem or feel that way. And so that is why. It's because my intuition, you know, we talk about the divine movement within, is saying, hey, this day is set up a certain way, and I was tuning into that. And when I did, before I even got out of bed, I said, today's a good day. Today's a new day, new point of attraction. Things are going to show up in my life that I've been working on these, you know, in the past, and it's showing up into my life because I'm staying with it. I'm being consistent. And even though the contrast happens, even though the negative thinking happens, I immediately stop. What is this showing me? Do I want that type of Monday? No. Did I want to start out my week that way? Absolutely not. But just perfect for this video and this topic is that some days you'll have days that are full of contrast, and what do? Especially when you've been working on the manifestation thing, going, well, this is terrible. What is this all about? We can't say it enough. Within just one of those moments of contrast during that day, guaranteed, there's something there. Everything is there at all times for a reason. And sometimes we find out later, even though our ego and our intention as a human, through our free will, want things a certain way. We try to control the matter because we want it, or we want it now. And you know, I personally have things in my life that I would like now. The human wants it now. Why do I have to wait? And you don't have to wait. That's the thing. And we've had it said in a few of the other videos, is that feel as though as if you already have it. So, you know, I'm designing my life right now to really get into the running thing, and I am moving as if I already have it. And I'm manifesting it every day. And the more you feel it as like you have it, you're doing it, it's not tomorrow, oh, I'm training myself for maybe someday, maybe tomorrow, next week, next month, then I'll be able to do this. Well, yeah, you do go through a training, but when you're training, you already act as if you're doing it, you know? And so you take your time, you stay in the moment, stay present, present moment turns to the next moment, then that turns to the next moment, and this is what we do. And we stay present with all that, okay? So things are always shifting at every moment. And this place is full of contrast. It's there to give you the opportunities to have the physical experiences here. You know, they're not going to go away. It's just that as you become more aware of how things are triggering you, and then where your thoughts go, and then where your emotions go after that, and then how you're feeling. And today turned out to be, again, a good day. But before I came out of bed, it didn't seem to be that way. So even though I said when I got out of bed, today's a good day, it turned out to be that way. Yes, there was contrast. So I could easily perceive it going, well, today wasn't a really good day. It wasn't as good as the other days. And it is all perspective, most certainly. And this is what we're doing. We're changing our minds. And when you change your mind, you're taking control and you're responsible for your own actions and how you're feeling at all times, even when you're feeling bad. You just don't stay too long. You know, again, as we were talking about at the beginning of this, if you find yourself in a certain disposition where you feel like you have depression, then by all means, you know, you seek assistance with that, because there are people that actually have, you know, mental chemical imbalances and stuff within themselves. Doesn't mean that we need to be on medications for the rest of our lives. It just means that there's something that needs to be done there to set you into a better feeling mode so that you can get into that manifestation mode of creating a happy life for yourself. And again, even when you're not in that mode, every day is a good day. We have this beautiful life. You know, we have beautiful bodies. We can express ourselves through this means, and even any kind of other communications, body language, telepathic language, you know, all sorts of ways that we could communicate through this existence. And it's just a beautiful experience to have, no matter where you're at with yourself and what's happening. So again, you might have those days that are full of contrast, but everything's there to serve us at all times, and it's leading us to where we really want to be. So don't ever knock something's happening, because it might just bring you more than you wanted or desired at the beginning of it. It may bring you more than what you thought you had. Say if it's money, and then all of a sudden it was $5,000, and you were aiming for that, and through 3 different contrast happenings or reactions, one step to the next step brought you to $25 million or $25,000, whatever. Just using money. Perhaps it's a relationship, and you were really strong in this one person, concentrated strongly on this one person, and you want you in your life, and it didn't turn out that way. And we always say it's never the person, because it's what you're doing within yourself. The law of attraction never ever ceases to deliver. It always does, because it's a law. So whatever you're doing with yourself, you're going to get. You just have to be patient. Be patient, be distracted, stay in a positive vibration most of the time. If there's lots of contrast, stop, take a break, breathe, meditation. I can't say it enough how much the breathing assists in your well-being and hearing those messages within yourself of what to do next. Because it may be 1 step out, or maybe about 3 steps out, but it's there, okay? Instead of moving on thoughts and going, fumbling along, like I did this morning. But again, I'm just speaking and talking my walk, walking my talk, and giving the example of how we as humans move along, and we tend to, if we're listening with the mind and the thoughts bringing us down a long road of way too many steps we didn't need to take, and to stop and breathe. We do a few things at a time, and then once we're out of that mode of the negative thinking or moody reaction mode, then we're back on track to creating, which is more in a positive mode of thinking. And if you're feeling good, that's a time to manifest. Not when you're not feeling good. That's not a time to create. Okay? So there's a little of this and a little of that when you're manifesting. It doesn't mean it's just like abracadabra and poof, things all of a sudden are right there. Well, yeah. If you're aligned within yourself to that in which you desire, it's bound to happen. When we use relationships, for instance, when we say it's not necessarily the person, because if we focus on a particular person, that means we're trying to take control of what the law of attraction is already doing for us. If we already set out what we desire, it means that everything's working on our behalf already. We just get distracted, And then once in a while, see yourself doing it, so you can get into that already having it mode. You're already with them. Feel the hug. Feel the places you want to go. Feel the things that you're doing together. And then you move into that mode. And you're in reception mode. And when you're in reception mode, that person comes to you. Again, if you're relying on to be that particular person, you might be for a letdown. What you're saying to the law of attraction is that I am in alignment with that particular person which is in myself, I'm in alignment with. And you get in alignment first, and that's how manifestation occurs. It's a beautiful act once you really start doing it. Okay, so thank you again for being here in this lifetime and doing this. It's not easy because the masses aren't moving this way. They're starting to get on board. Things are starting to move faster and faster within this frequency. And the more we talk about it, the more we talk about the things we want, the more they manifest. Anything you talk about manifests. Abracadabra, I create as I speak. But eventually it does manifest. So we get talking about the things that we want. Talk about to yourself all the time what you already have. You already have it. You already see it within your sphere. It's already done. And this way too, you're not setting yourself for a letdown. You're not letting yourself down. Or, oh no, I was doing the manifestation thing and it hasn't happened. It's not happening. And again, we get right back on track again. And what I want to say is that when you're getting back on track again with this, it's essentially you're moving out of reality. Because if you look at the state of world, everybody is trying to get with reality. And reality is not this. This is not reality. It's not going, how do I get from A to B, or how do I get from here to what I want over there? And usually it was a linear path what we took, and the mind relied on thoughts and some of our intuition to get us there, and a very long path, and many of the times we didn't manifest. We have so much abundance within our energetic sphere. All we need to do is tap into this law of attraction. And how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you tap into what is considered a law? Whatever I'm thinking and feeling and drawing it to me. So you get specific. What do you want? And again, you don't see a specific person. No, it's a specific happening. You know, you want some money. Don't go focusing on it because you're trying to control it. And the mind and emotions, oh, it hasn't happened. Or you go at it because of fear. Okay, so you're going along and I want some money. And in the back of your whole being is you're going at it because I'm afraid. I have fear around not having money. That's when we stop with ourselves and we're meditating. You sit and shut up. And you be with your breath. And you listen. You listen to what your higher self is telling you. Okay? It's like the 101 of energy management. Sit with yourself. Sit down in the middle of yourself and you'll find out a lot of your agendas. And this is where we really start. And once you get there, then you stay for a few days, however long, maybe a couple weeks or a couple months or even a couple years, however long it takes for you to start going, wait a second, I am now creating out of abundance, that it is mine. That the universe delivers, that I am that. I am that. So I'm going to trust this and I'm going to move it. Okay, I can do this. I'm going to feel like I already have it. How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel already done? I'm going to test drive the car in my mind. How does it feel? This is alchemy. I'm going to go in my mind and I'm going to see it already done. I'm going to go on to the car lot and I'm going to buy the car. I got the color in my mind, maybe not the model. But I have the car and I'm going to drive it and I'm driving it and I'm feeling it. And so this is what we do. You know, maybe it's not a car, maybe it's a house, maybe it's a living situation, maybe it's the job. So we go and then we see it in our mind's eye as if we already have it. You feel into it. And you could take as long as you need for this. This is alchemy. You know, rearrange your energy. Rearrange the furniture in your house. That's another form of alchemy. In your mind's eye, rearrange your furniture. You know, some of the furniture may not be so light to pick up, but do that. How do you want your furniture to be? All these sorts of distractions you can do along the route to manifestation, because whatever you ask for, it's already got the hands of law of attraction to take care of it. You just distract yourself. You just distract yourself and get feeling good. And guaranteed, these things will start happening for you. It could be anything. You can't say it enough. Money, relationships, your health. And we say those three main things is because those are the three main things that humanity suffers with the most. And we came into this lifetime for a lifetime of abundance. And that's why we're staying here and giving these messages along the way, is because you could do it. It's possible. It's possible. There's many people doing this. And then the percentage of the number of people who are manifesting, you know, taking that rabbit right out of the hat and poof, there it is. The more and more we start living this life and seeing it's normal. It used to be considered miracles. So again, sometimes you have those days that are full of contrast. Those days are full of abundance. If you have full of contrast, full of abundance immediately. Because even just one of those moments of contrast is tremendously full of abundance. And you'll start seeing more and more of how even when you trip and you stub your toe or you fall to the ground, what we call, right, the slip and the bump and the slip, is that's there for a reason. It's making you stop. Maybe that bump and slip is a sprained ankle or a broken leg. It's making you stop, and then it's making you fine-tune what you want for yourself. It's making you stop and listen to the higher voice. It's making you stop, and then you do what you need to do with that. It really is brilliant how this works, okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any comments or concerns or anything, leave your comments down in the description or the comment section down there, okay? And like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much if you have.